Folks, I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up. According to several news sources, including CNN, there was a man a couple of weeks ago from Manchester, New Hampshire, that received a cease and desist letter in the mail. Obviously, Mr. Daniel Mowery, I think I'm saying that right, was guilty of breaking the law. What law was he breaking, you ask? Mr. Daniel is guilty of giving away his bread and butter, pickles, that he made at his house, in his kitchen. Now, if that don't light your fire, your wood's wet. He was giving them away. Did you hear me? Giving away. Now, I've been in contact with him, and he told me he's never sold a jar of pickles. Everything he makes, he gives away. He don't sell his canned food. He don't trade his canned food for any other goods and services. He just likes to make them and give them away to friends, neighbors, family, whatever. My immediate observation, being in New Hampshire, their state motto is live free or die. I would expect to see a little more freedom from a place like that. Well, Mr. Daniel has chosen to live free. He said he's not stopping, and I don't blame him a bit. This is just another example of a government overreach. They said for him to do what he's doing, he needs a permit, of course, and his kitchen needs to be commercially licensed or commercially inspected. Now remember, this is to give food away, not sell it. It all boils down to this. The governing authorities want money, because to have your kitchen turned into a commercial kitchen or commercially inspected, of course, cost a few dollars on top of the permit. I know most of y'all have heard of Joel Salatin, and he spoke a good bit on us not having food freedom. As in, if I were to process a pig on my property, I can't sell you a pack of pork chops without the state getting involved. But I can legally give you anything you're willing to take. And as far as I know, that's nationwide, even in New Hampshire. Now this is where it gets a little bit sticky. The state of New Hampshire lets you sell homemade goods, I'm sure with a few minor requirements, kind of like our cottage food laws down here in Mississippi. But the city of Manchester and their health and safety department, they have their own ordinances that they go by when it comes to food safety. Mr. Daniel from Manchester, New Hampshire seems to me like a good neighbor who just enjoys canning pickles and tomatoes and jelly and giving them out to his friends and family and neighbors. The man is up there doing God's work, and well, the city of Manchester's giving him a hard time over it. My question is, how far are they going to go? Are they going to start telling folks up there that you can't invite your neighbors over for supper because your kitchen's not inspected? I mean, that's pretty much what they're doing now. If you can't give food away, where does it end? Now, of course, the city of Manchester is covering their money grab scheme on the basis of food safety. They want the food to be safe. And the only way it'll be safe is if you pay them to come inspect your place and pay them to get a permit. Because you cannot make an edible jar of pickles without a fire extinguisher and a 3-compartment deep stainless steel sink and a tested septic system and a permit. You just can't make nothing to eat without all that. Here's my opinion, since you asked for it. They're using the food safety to cover their money grab. It's just my opinion. But the foods that he's canning are extremely safe and shelf stable for a long time. I don't know him personally. I don't think he is a food scientist, but sometimes it's better to trust the guy with 40 or 50 years of experience rather than the guy with a degree. Canning the stuff he's canning, pickles, tomatoes, jelly, you don't have anything to worry about really. Tomatoes are almost acidic enough to can by themselves. But of course, he's been doing this his whole life. He knows how much vinegar to add, or citric acid, or lemon juice. He knows what he needs to add to make those tomatoes shelf stable. And with the pickles, the vinegar makes the pickles shelf stable. You don't have to worry about any bacteria growing as long as your vinegar and all is right. If your recipe is dialed in, you're good to go. And if you doubt that a man of his age who's been doing it as long as he's been doing it is gonna mess something like that up, my goodness. And the jelly, my goodness, the sugar content in jelly so high, that's what preserves it. I mean, there's no free water molecule in a jar of jelly for bacteria to proliferate. The sugar is the preservative. So I don't know what they're throwing a big fit over. If you're out there canning like peas or corn, or especially some type of meat, yeah, you got to have your pressure canner dialed in. You've got to have your gauge calibrated. You got to have your timer. Everything's got to be just right. But with the stuff he's doing, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Now, anytime somebody cans anything in a mason jar at their house, a lot of folks want to jump up and scream botulism, which, I mean, that is a valid concern, because a mason jar, like with a lid on it, it is essentially an anaerobic environment, which means an environment with no oxygen. And the bacteria, Clostridium botulinum, does not have to have oxygen to proliferate. That bacteria grows, it produces the spore then produces the toxin. And the toxin of Clostridium botulinum, or the end result of it, is odorless and tasteless. You can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it. That's why folks are scared of it. Because if you eat it, it'll kill you graveyard dead. The good news is this: it never travels alone. If you've got Clostridium botulinum in one of your mason jars, there's a 99.99% chance that you've got all kind of other stuff growing in there with it that is not odorless and is not tasteless. You'll be able to see, hey, something's going on in that jar that's not good. Clostridium botulinum, or the botulism, rarely travels alone. As a matter of fact, I'd go so far as to say never travels alone. It will be accompanied by other stuff that will be clear. You will say, hey, something's wrong with that. But pickles and tomatoes and jelly, no, you ain't got to worry about that. The city really needs to leave that man alone. And I tell you what, if I got anybody from up there watching this video, if you need a new mayor, holler at me. I think I could handle it from down here. I mean, if they got enough time to go after a man giving pickles away, they can't have much going on up there. I think I can handle it. Anyway, Mr. Daniel told me that the city, they're going to get together, I think this next Tuesday, and come up with a plan, change the law or something. But, I mean, they're going to vote on it this week, and hopefully they just vote to leave him alone and change the law where you can't go after somebody that's trying to give food away. I hope they do, because going after a man that's giving food away is dumb. You know, we don't do dumb stuff around here. God bless. We'll see you on the next one.